plank face out in mountain pose. And we'll get started standing in mountain with our feet firmly planted on the earth below, our hips stacked on top, followed by our shoulders. We'll take a few deep breaths in through the nose and we'll sigh out through the mouth. One more. Noticing the softening of the muscles in our faces, in our jaw. Noticing the energy and mood we're bringing to the mat today. And checking in with the body from head to toe. Noticing areas of comfort, of strength, of lightness. And noticing any areas that might be talking to us that need a little more attention and nourishment. Taking a moment to set an intention for our practice. And congratulating ourselves for getting to the mat, giving ourselves this opportunity to reset, to restore, and to balance ourselves out for the coming days. Lowering our chin to our chest. And we'll slowly roll our heads left to right, ear to shoulder. Whatever range of motion suits us. Noticing the sensations. Option to add range of motion and make full circles, or to continue with this motion of left to right. Noticing how our shoulders respond. And then we'll hold to one side, ear to shoulder, letting the shoulders soften. Perhaps we float the opposite arm out, exploring the area, exploring the sensations, moving our arm or our head, holding wherever it feels like we need to breathe light and space into the area. Three more breaths. And we'll slowly float our head to the other side, resetting our arm. And once again, exploring with the arm movement or head. Perhaps noticing different sensations on this side of the body. Honoring the state of our body and nourishing those areas of discomfort. Keeping our awareness lightly on our breath, noticing if it changes. Being mindful of what we can do to continually maintain calm, steady rhythm of breath. 2 more breaths here. And we'll slowly lower our chin back to our chest. Holding here. Noticing the sensations down the back of the neck, into the upper back, perhaps across the shoulders. Maybe starting to feel a bit of heat generating from the release of energy. Three more breaths. Deep breaths, nurturing, filling the upper back. And we'll lift our head while bringing our shoulders up and back. And we'll roll our shoulders up and back into the neck. Shoulder blades together. And we'll switch directions, drawing the shoulder blades together, up, and rounding forward. Our speed, our range of motion. 3, 2, 1 more. We reset. And we'll swim the arms, palms facing forward. Inhale, bringing them all the way back. And up and around. Rotating the palms forward. Inhale, drawing the arms back. And forward and around. Repeating to our range of motion. One more. And then we'll switch directions. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, rounding back. One more. Then we reset. Shoulders up and back. Deep breath in between. Drawing our arms open. Inhaling, lifting our chest. Holding here. Arching our lower back. Opening the abdomen. And we'll hug ourselves. Coming forward, rolling into ourselves. Rounding into the spine. Holding here for a few breaths. And then we'll open up, inhaling, arching the lower back, open the abdomen. Exhale, we round forward, hugging ourselves in. Inhale, we open. Exhale, we round. Inhale, we open ourselves to possibilities, light and love. Exhale, we draw it all in towards us. All the tools of the universe that we need to continue shining brightly. Patience, kindness, compassion, understanding. Two more. Always starting with ourselves. Inhaling up. We'll interlace our hands behind our backs, driving the knuckles down, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the arms as possible, breathing into the fronts of the arms and shoulders. Yummy. Feeling the sensations transform. Perhaps we're lifting our hands a little higher. 3, 2, and we release. Rolling forward this time, bringing our hands out front, interlacing and pressing the palms towards me, lowering our chins to our chest. We press forward, we round into our spine. Releasing our arms, we roll ourselves up gently, shoulders and head. We'll flow through our squat sequence, opening our feet a little wider so we can come through Malasana squat. Inhale, reaching the arms up, palms together. Exhaling, we sink down. Inhale, we forward fold. Exhale, we round ourselves up, slightly bending the knees for the first view as our legs start to open up. Opening our hearts and our abdomen. We float to our speed. Moving energy around, clearing blockages. One more full sequence, and then we'll deconstruct it. We'll float all the way to Malasana, and we'll hold. Checking in with the hips, the lower back, pressing our elbows into the inner thighs. Grabbing a block if we'd prefer to have a passive stretch here. Bringing our left hand to the earth underneath our face. We'll open our right arm up as high as it'll go. Breathing nourishment into our spine. Pressing our left arm into our left thigh for leverage. Calm, steady rhythm of breath. Gentle spinal rotation. And we lower the right hand down in front of us, underneath our face, and then we open our left. Slowly adding rotation as the Lower back starts to release tension. Fitting the pose to our body. And continuing to breathe into any areas of discomfort. Calm and steady. And we release out of that. Bring our hands to the earth, we forward fold, and we'll hold in our forward fold. Straightening the legs, keeping the feet under our hips. Option here to grab the inside of our elbows and to rock side to side. Whatever the body craves, that's what we do. We listen to our bodies. And today is our opportunity to nurture, reset. Bending our knees slightly, we roll ourselves up, stacking the vertebrae, shoulders and head. And we reach all the way up over our head, inhaling. Grabbing our left wrist, inhale, we reach high. Exhale, we come over into a side bend to the right. Option to lift the right heel off the earth. Breathing space down through the left side of the body. Keeping our hips underneath us. Three more breaths. And we come back to standing. We release our arms, palms facing forward, arching the lower back, lifting our chest. And we release. Once again, bringing our hands over our heads, palms together. Inhale. Reaching for our right wrist again, reaching tall. And exhaling over to the left side bend. And again, we have the option to lift the left heel off the earth, pressing into the right side body, keeping our hips underneath. Calm, steady rhythm of breath. Easing out of the pose if it becomes too intense. We're here to nurture, not stress. Three more breaths. We come out of that gently, bringing our hands down, opening our chest, opening our abdomen. And we roll out of that, bringing our hands to heart center. Deep breath here. And we'll roll our wrists, bringing our palms and backs of the hands together. And the other way. And bringing our right arm across our chest. Left hand comes to the outer edge. We reach the right arm long. Working into the back of the arm, into the upper shoulder and back. Yum. Sometimes we have tension that we didn't even know we were holding. Well, we're becoming more familiar with it today, conscious of it, so that we can honor our bodies, give it the nourishment it needs. Yeah, excellent. Bringing that same arm up alongside the ear, and we'll press down on the elbow this time, reaching our hand between our shoulder blades, seeing if we can't push it down, keeping our head pressed against the arm, working down the back side of the arm, the tricep, and again the upper back. Gentle pressure. Creating headspace as we focus on our breath and physical sensations. We come out of this. Yay, bringing our arms down back to heart center. Deep breath in between. And we'll bring our opposite arm across the chest with our hand just above the elbow, reaching. Feeling all those yummy sensations down the back of the arm, into the shoulder. Gentle awareness on the breath. And we bring that same arm alongside the ear. The hand comes to the elbow. We reach the hand behind the back, between the shoulder blades. We stand tall. Pushing down, working into the tricep. Releasing energy. Good. And we release both arms back to heart center. Deep breath in between. Sigh it out. Alternating arms left to right. We'll draw the arm back behind us, rotating our trunk, bringing our awareness back to the spine, the abdomen. Keeping our knees slightly bent. And finding a range of motion that suits us. Three, two, one more. And we'll switch directions. Drawing the arm back and around. Maybe following our hand with our gaze. Three, or two, and one. Beautiful. Opening our legs wide, double hip width. And we'll shift our legs left to right. Keeping our hands at heart center, on our hips. Or we have the option to float the arms forward. Making a big energy bubble. Drawing energy in that we need. And then we'll hold one side, feeling the opening down the inner thigh, supporting our hands on our thigh as needed, lengthening through the torso. Supporting on the ground with our hand as needed. Now we'll come over to the other side. Gentle transition, releasing out of it with the support of our hands. Once again, we find that length in our torso. We hinge over the lunged leg. Noticing what the inner thigh has to say to us. Perhaps it starts to quieten a bit. Good, over to the other side. We'll slowly lower ourselves down into Skandasana, lifting our toes, pressing our heel into the earth, expanding the width and breadth of our stretch. Again, fitting the pose to our body. Toes upwards. Optional arm bind here. Opening the chest. Keeping the toes up. Focusing on the inner thigh. Finding our pose as it suits us in this moment. And we'll come out of that, pressing ourselves up, and we'll come over to the other side. Again, gentle transition. We lower down, we extend our leg out, we flex the foot and point the toes up. We find our way into our pose, whatever it looks like for us today. Whatever keeps us calm, present in this moment. Releasing out of that, we'll press ourselves all the way into the center. Forward fold, wide angle. Feet are facing forward. And we press into the back of the legs. Hanging our heads heavy in between our arms. And we'll reach for the left leg, wherever our hands meet naturally. Could be on the shin, could be on the ankle or the foot. Letting our head hang heavy, not transferring energy to our jaw. Calm and steady. And we'll open our left arm above our back. Perhaps we bring the right hand under our face, or we keep it on our left leg, whatever feels more stabilizing. Working into our spinal twist, while feeling the inner thigh on the right leg and the hamstring on the left. 3, 2, 1. We release our left arm down to the ground. We're going to bend our legs, inhaling. Exhale, we hang forward. Inhale, we bend the knees. Chest forward. Exhale, we come back to our forward fold. 3 more like that. Inhale, working into the hips. Exhale, forward fold. One more. And in our forward fold, we reach for the opposite leg. Again, wherever the hands connect naturally. Perhaps feeling an opening across the lower back, down the side of the leg, perhaps into the hamstring. And if so desired, we can reach our arm up, come into a spinal twist here, rotating and reaching. Now we bring our hand back down. Inhaling, we bend the knees, drawing our chest through. Exhale, we forward fold. The rhythm of our breath. Three more. Two. One more. And in our forward fold, we're going to bring our toes in and then our heels, and we'll hold here. 3, 2, 1. And we bring our toes in and we hold here. 3, 2, 1. More big breath. And we bring our heels in. And again, 3, 2, 1. More big breath. Feeling the sensations down the back of the legs. And the toes come together so we can bring our feet almost touching. Perhaps the bunions are touching. Hanging out here. 3, 2, 1. More big breath. And we bring our hands to the ground. We bend our knees. And we're going to come all the way down onto our glutes. Taking a sip of water in between. On the way down. Beautiful. We'll come into a supported bridge pose to start, lowering ourselves down 1 vertebrae at a time. Shoulders and head, keeping our abdomen nice and tight. Noticing how the lower back resets, perhaps a clunk or a crick crack. And we'll walk our feet to the outer edges of the mat. And windshield wiper the knees left to right. Again, at our speed. Perhaps noticing some tightness in our hips or our lower back. Just taking the time to be aware, bring our mind to those areas, and slowly start to nourish them energy through, noticing the transformations. We'll come back to center. We'll hug our left knee into our chest, floating our right leg long. Let's rotate over to the right side. So bringing our right hand on top of our left knee, guiding it over to the right side. We can extend our left arm. If we have a block and we want to support our knee, we can use that. Otherwise, gently adding depth to our rotation, keeping our left shoulder blade and arm on the mat. Breathing into any areas that might be tight or tense, perhaps down the outer edge of the leg, through the lower back. Perhaps starting to notice releases. They may be small, but we can celebrate them. Good. Gently coming out of that, we'll hug both knees into our chest. Wide or narrow, rocking or still. And hugging our right knee into our chest, we float the left leg long. With our left hand, we bring it to the outer edge of our right knee. We extend our right arm and we come into a gentle twist. Gazing over to the right, allowing the right leg to slowly lower towards the earth, supporting it as needed, not pushing too far, too fast. Focusing on any areas of tightness that run down the leg and into the lower back. Breathing our awareness there. Noticing how we start to open up as we allow our body to settle, to soften, to release tension, to release stress that we might be holding all week. Resetting our nervous system. And on the next inhale, we'll slowly bring ourselves back to center, hugging both knees in, narrow or wide, still or rocking. Perhaps we wiggle our feet a little. Good. Bring our right foot to the ground, left leg crosses over, figure 4, and we'll hug in. Changing the pose slightly. Noticing any energy down the IT band. Just being conscious of how everything connects. And again, fitting the pose to our body. Being curious, moving around, adjusting or modifying as we go. Good. Straightening the right leg, driving the heel up, wrapping our hands around the back of the hamstring. Wiggling the foot as needed to release some of that tension as it slowly moves through the leg. Now we'll release the right leg. We'll cross the left leg over into our eagle, bringing our right foot to the earth, and once again we twist, lowering the knees towards the left. We can stretch our arms outwards like a T, bring them onto our hips or lift them over our head. Choosing whatever option feels comfortable for us. And again, checking in with those yummy sensations down the side of the leg, into the lower back, perhaps even into the abdomen. Perhaps noticing emotions that we might be holding as tension. That definitely could affect us in the abdomen. Yum. Releasing out of that. We bring our left foot to the ground. The right leg crosses over, and we thread the needle, hugging it in, either reaching for the back of the leg or the top of the shin, rocking, pulsing, or finding stillness with great curiosity as to how we're feeling on this side. What we need to focus on to reset, release and reset. Straightening the left leg, threading the hands around the back of the thigh, driving the heel up, toes are pointed down to the head. Wiggling the foot as needed to move energy through. And we release the left leg. The foot comes to the earth, the right leg can eagle over, and then we roll to the right. Spinal twist, once again finding placement for our hands and our arms. Keeping a light, gentle awareness on our breath. And on the next inhale, we bring the knees back up to center. We hug them into the chest, perhaps a little wider this time. Rocking or finding stillness. Perhaps taking the opportunity to massage the lower back, feeling the contact it makes on the earth below. An option to work into a happy baby with or without leg extensions. We have the option to grab onto the fronts of our feet or our big toes. We can move through extending one leg at a time or both. Checking in again with the inner thighs. Noticing where we're holding tension. And taking the time to work through it. Noticing micro gains in our flexibility as the energy moves. Those gentle transitions and changes to the sensations in our body. Releasing out of that when we're ready. Floating through any micro movements that might be desired by the body. And then we can float our way into Shavasana, letting our legs run long on the mat. Bringing our hands to our abdomen, or letting them fall alongside the body, palms facing up. Taking a moment to run through a body scan from head to toe. Once again, checking in with the mood and noticing any areas of lightness and heaviness. Perhaps noticing that we have more of one than the other. Celebrating that. Noticing the transformations that have taken place here. Reflecting on the intention we may have set at the beginning of our practice, and either solidifying it or modifying it for the days ahead, or creating a whole new one. Taking whatever time we need to imprint our practice on our body and mind. And when we're ready, we can bring awareness back to our body, the physical sensations, adding some small movements to our feet, our hands, our knees. And when we're ready, we can roll over and up, bringing ourselves back to the space around us and our community. Coming into any easy seated pose might suit us. Hands to heart center. We give thanks for the opportunity to move our bodies and to move the energy around, to unstick blockages. We give thanks for our community, the opportunity to practice together. and to continue sharing our light and love with one another. Thank you for joining me today. I wish you a beautiful continuation. Namaste.